Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our channel. We're kind of new to this whole thing. We're trying to figure out a way to popularize and bring air raid football into 8-man. My name is Coach Hill.
Coach Roberts. We coach football at Itchen County High School, small little 2A school in Arkansas. This will be our second year coaching together.
Today we're going to go over stick and snag, which in 8-man I have not seen a whole lot of that. I've seen variations of it, but I think that you could still run the traditional stick and snag in air raid football or in 8-man football pretty effectively.
Before we get to drawing stuff on the board, we're going to talk about the advantages of actually getting into the air raid offense and running it and what it can do for your kids. The air raid offense is a way to get the ball to athletes in space quick.
What I love about the air raid is that you're going to spread the ball out to all of your eligible receivers.
Yeah, show love everywhere.
Yeah, not one guy's going to get the ball every play. And, you know, kids love that. It's fun. We're going out there slinging it. It changes the way that we practice. The thing about it is that it spaces the field and stretches everybody horizontally and vertically. And in 8-man football, what's so interesting about that is a lot of times you don't have a safety or you have one. And coming from 11-man coaching 8-man football or coaching in the air raid, you know, we're gonna get a lot of too high stuff, you know, quarters, palms, and that stuff isn't here. There's not really a way to get to that defensively. So we have a pretty unique advantage alongside challenges that are also going to take place when you try to make that transition. The common formations you see a lot of air raid programs run is typically they use the XYZ terminology. You know, sometimes people use something different like an L and an R or whatever. Everything, there's not a right or wrong answer, but how Mommy calls this formation green. Okay, we call that home in 11-man, basically because we based out of it. If we got out of green and got into our next formation, the only thing that really changed for anybody would have been the H. So if we come out and open, we keep that F there, the H will come here, and that Y's there, and that Z's there, okay? The good thing about Mommy and, you know, the air raid system of getting into formations is that we could squeeze these formations or we can make them wider. And that, so you're really only teaching 4 or 5 formations, and you can get into, you know, anywhere upward of 30 different formations a game if you really wanted to do that. So, okay, the next one that we used a lot, we called it early. I'm spelling it the way that they spell it, not that I know it's incorrect. I'm an English teacher, so it drives me nuts, but I do it anyway just because that's how everybody's been doing it. But so for this was early for us. Early meant 3x1 to the right, but the only thing that changed for anybody was that H is going to go to it. The F could align on either side based on the play call. And then late was the Y is going to be on the right. Extend it out as far as he can, like out on top of the numbers. And then you've got the X out here like where he was before, H is out here in the middle, and then you bring the Z over here too. So it gets that extended receiver, number 1 receiver on your right side over here in the slot. So if that's one of your better athletes, it gives you a little difference. You can do a little different things with that guy. Okay, and then, you know, in 8-man, finish that formation. So the main transition in 8-man is now we're going to lose 2 tackles and we're going to lose another eligible receiver, which for us is the F. So what we do in green, or our home, we call it home, is this is how we're going to get into it. If we want to run concepts where I need 3 receivers on this side, like I need that shoot from the H will go over here. If we're going to run the football here, he'll go over there. The H is somebody that's going to have to know a lot as far as like formationally, but overall it's super interesting interestingly simple on how these it can get your players into different formations and places where they don't have to know a whole lot. Okay, so in open, the only difference is going to be is now it comes out, it just turns into 2x2 empty. Okay, Same here, get rid of the tackles, get rid of the F, get you into trips right, okay? Get rid of the tackles and late, get rid of the F, get you into trips left. But the beautiful part about framing your system like this is that we're finding a way to communicate to the Z and to the H. Now we want you on this side in trips, and we can get into all kinds of different things off of that. Lets a kid do something a little bit different. And a lot of air raid concepts, he's running a fade, so it's nice to give him in the slot where it's easier to get him the ball sometimes. Stick concept, I'm gonna do everything out of home. Nothing changes. Or a stick route. He's gonna run a mandatory outside release fade, and he's gonna run a shoot. Some people call it a flat route or speed. You can call it whatever you want. On the backside, we run a slant. I don't like him crossing all the way to the other side of the field and interfering with this and being a third read. I've had personal experiences with quarterbacks throwing interceptions trying to get that. So what I always tell this guy, if you haven't beat the corner yet, don't enter the box, to just settle, stay out of it. I don't want you to continue and try to force these inside backers out here where they need to be. Okay, so where stick starts to struggle, what they're gonna have to do to cover this is if they're gonna be in a zone in 8-man and they chose not to have a safety, which a lot of teams will, in order to be able to stop the run, is this cat's gonna have to apex, and he's gonna be, obviously he's gonna have to handle the hitch or the shoot. Okay, so what's gonna happen is he's gonna try to take that hitch for a minute, see that he's outflanked by the shoot, and then he's gonna try to jump it. The only way that they can truly take it away is if this inside backer can also get there, right? Then they've defended stick. The thing about that is that it's never gonna happen. There's just too much space there. What's gonna happen a lot of times is even if the inside backer does get there, this cat wasn't fast enough getting out here, so this is open. This guy leaves too quick, and there's a window there. It's gonna be there. The beautiful part about stick is that it's a quick game play, and in 8-man we don't have as much time in like pass blocking because we only have the 3 linemen, and the edges are closer. They're coming from 3 techs now, so it's a great quick game play that you can install pretty simply and be able to effectively move the football. Also, you've also got the fade on the outside that you can always say like, okay, well my dude's better than their dude. There's no safety over the top. I'm just gonna take it. Okay, all right, so with Snag, guys, it's very similar to stick, except that we read it a little bit differently. Okay, now where the hitch was, the Z is gonna come in and settle down right there where that hitch was, okay? We actually teach it 6 yards at the wake of the outside linebacker. There's 100 different ways to skin a cat. We just want him to get to the outside linebacker and sit. I like for him to be anywhere between 5 and 6 yards. The Y, we have him carry 7 yards and then break out on a corner route. And then again, the F is gonna run a shoot, okay? Well, actually that's our H now, sorry. Okay, so what we're gonna get to now is that we're gonna read the corner first. So if the corner goes down or in, like if he comes up or in, we're gonna throw that corner out now. So quarterback catches the ball, spots the corner. If he has come up or in, we're throwing that now. It's a kill shot in 8-man football. It's a touchdown. There's no way to defend it. If that guy can cover a corner out man coverage, by God, you're having a tough time. Okay. Now, if the corner drops, like in some kind of zone, maybe they do have a safety and they're playing cover 3 over the top. Now you're reading the high-low here, the spot route and the shoot here. Okay. So if the outside backer sits with the spot, you can throw this in a bucket all the way out past the numbers, and then now you have the sideline to run to the shoot. Or if he does take off like this, you'll say, okay, now I'm gonna hit here. A good coaching point for stick and snag is we teach our quarterbacks that once they make it past the first, like the corner out of snag, and then on stick immediately they're reading this, I like for them to turn their shoulders and look at the shoot. So what's happening here is when they're turning their shoulders to look at it, it's going to influence that outside linebacker. If he does have zone eyes and he's looking back towards us, it's going to get him out of there. So does that do that to that inside backer? Maybe, but if an inside backer can play the running and cover that, you're playing against a really good inside linebacker.